Here's a Yorkshire Childhood, chapter 31. Josh had only seen lions, tigers, and exotic birds on television, and he couldn't wait to see them for real. But he was glad they were behind cages. The first thing they saw was the monkeys, and it was amazing and funny seeing them hanging upside down and swinging from the bars. They seemed to want to be noticed and were putting on a show. The parrots and parakeets were beautiful and looked and acted like clockwork. Josh wished he could take one home with him as they were so amazing. The next thing they came to was the lion's cage, and Josh was astonished at the size of them. They seemed much more menacing and large in real life. Josh was amused to learn that they called them big cats. They were nothing like any cats he'd ever seen. It was great looking around, and they didn't want the day to end. Tom saved the best for last when they came to the penguins. They were so funny and had such great characters, like identical tiny actors going about their quirky business. Josh could imagine them speaking in posh accents and being knowledgeable about everything. After hours of looking around, they were famished, and it was easy finding a fish and chip shop. The fish was delicious, and it was wonderful eating it outside. This has been a great trip, Dad, Josh said, in between mouthfuls of succulent fresh fish. Tom was pleased. He'd enjoyed the day and promised there'd be more to come. I think it's time we headed back, Tom said a little sadly. Rain clouds were gathering. It looked like a storm was brewing. They were lucky to make it to the car as the first drops hit, but it wasn't rain, it was hailstone. The hailstone fell larger and harder, and they clattered off the roof of the car, clashing like cymbals. Tom put his foot down as rain and hail swirled around them. It was as if an angry cloud was following them and hitting them with everything it had. Although frightening, it was also weirdly exciting. The car's headlights shone through the curtain of hail. Tom turned up the radio to drown out the din, and the hail added its own accompaniment, blending with the music. They arrived home with a screech of brakes, chickens and hens scurrying out of their way, and Josh ran inside with the hail chasing him. When they got inside, they had a surprise, but not a pleasant one. The chairs were upside down, and books were strewn everywhere. There was a hole on the wall where a picture used to hang. "We've been burgled," said Tom in shock. Fortunately and strangely, nothing seemed to have been stolen. "The garage," said Josh, and they ran outside in the rain once again. Thankfully, the lock on the door was a strong one. "They must have come in through the window," said Tom, and he closed it with a snap. Tom put the kettle on. They were both in shock. "These things happen," said Tom, and they slowly tidied the house. That night, Josh couldn't sleep, and he kept thinking the thieves would come back. He didn't feel safe until the first light of morning. When he went downstairs, Tom was busy putting locks on the windows. "Better safe than sorry," he said. Josh was starting to realize life wasn't as rosy as he wanted it to be. Cracks in his dream world had started to appear. After a hearty breakfast, Josh was racking his brains, wondering where to go. He needed to take his mind off things, and he remembered Tom mentioning the old tip, and he decided he would investigate.